So Denmark has fallen to Poland, Team Poland. They don't get any points for holding Denmark. Only Team Denmark get points for holding Denmark. But this does block Team Denmark from getting the points from Denmark. Did I
Oh,
say
man.
Denmark too much? I am Midgeman, or Alex. I am the community ambassador for Hearts of Iron 4, and I am joined by Robert, who is... I've instantly forgotten your title. You're a dev for Hearts of Iron 4. I do apologize. Robert, introduce yourself.
I'm Robert, game designer on Hoi 4. Just, simple game designing boy.
I mean, somebody's got to do it. I mean, it's something that I definitely can't do, and I'm thankful for you doing it because you bring us Hearts of Iron 4, and it's,
Oh,
a
thank
game
you.
I love playing. But, so you weren't here beforehand, Robert, so we've got to get you up to speed, and the game is rolling again. So, what you have missed, and for those of you in the audience that may not have seen it thus far, Team Poland have been on a
Oh,
quest for
my.
world domination and managed to snap up most of Europe and also 50 score points so far. So if you're unaware and you're watching and you want to know how this game works, we are running on a series of victory states teams. We have 5 teams of 3, not 3 teams of 5, who are vying for control of victory states dotted across the world. There are 13 of those states, but also teams can also gain points from gaining their namesake capital. So Team Poland have managed to grab a number of victory states, and they've grabbed Warsaw, so they've gained an extra 30 points from that. Other teams that are on the scoreboard so far, we have... Sorry, I need to click the tab out. We have... Let me get my scoreboard up so I can see things. And another war has just been declared, so I need to take a look at that. Team Turkey have 10 points, and Team Denmark also have 10 points. Team Russia and Team Devs on 0 so far. But we have war being declared. We see that... Clear those. So Italy has been declared on by Germany. We have Fallschirmjägers being set up, and we have a massive war coming in. Will Italy hold, or will... we've already got it. Dankas's special artillery has already made it to Genoa.
That's a spaghetti if I've ever seen one.
Yes, it really is. Wow, and there's now an encirclement around Venice because of the Fallschirmjägers coming in. They're going to make quick work of Italy here, which is to be noted that Italy currently controls 3 victory states, in fact, Albania, Tripoli, and Ethiopia, and that's going to go to Team Poland again, so they are going to score up even further, and the other teams are being left in the dust here.
And they have really taken the high ground, it would seem. In terms of the overall match, you hate to see the Italian army just utterly fold like this, but I guess.
Yeah, they're really struggling against Dankas's divisions here. These 20 light artillery are
So is he
really
running light
smashing through.
SPG-2s?
He's running light SPGs. I'm not sure if they're light SPG-2s. Let's have a look at the template. So it's light SPGs and motorized now. That's 40 width. He's made them 40 width now.
It's honestly a really solid template for the early game and just smashing through everything. I mean, light SPGs are just so cost efficient. And since the artillery nerf a long time ago, I think it's really become the best way to just turn men into mist on a massive scale.
Yep, light SPG-2s indeed. So that's obviously something that's going to change with No Step Back and Barbarossa, though, with the tank designer coming in. So we won't be seeing this meta for very long. So I guess they're making the most of it while it lasts. So, yeah, Robert, we'll give you the overview of what the teams are. So we have Team Poland, which is now most of Europe at this point. We have Team Dev, which started as the UK, Spain, and Portugal. Team Poland started as Germany, the Netherlands, and Bulgaria. We also have Team Denmark, who are the USSR, Turkey, and India. We have Team Turkey, who are Japan, Canada, and Brazil. And then finally, Team Russia, who are the USA, Mexico, and South Africa. Looking at those teams...
A classic pair.
Yes, it's got some interesting... ability. There's some manipulation there, and they've got a lot of resources behind them. So if they can get their industry going, that could be some serious difficulties trying to trifle with them. So we're as Italy is now divided between the German faction, the Polish faction, sorry, I should say. Who do you put your money on for this multiplayer? Are you falling into the Team Poland side of things, or do you think
Yeah,
other teams can pull this back once the player wars start?
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks like Poland's going to into space.
Mhm.
Soviet Union, I mean, it's always a strong buffer. It can be strong no matter how much of Europe you take. But I guess in the context of this game, they're also going to have Japan in their back door to worry about.
Mhm.
And
Now
so I don't know, like, it probably looks like Team Poland to me. Maybe Team Russia can do a surprise endgame naval invasion and take it all back. We'll see.
Do you mean Team Denmark who are playing as Russia, or Team Russia who are playing the USA?
Sorry, I mean Team Russia playing as the USA has that ability to just sit there and build civilian factories for God knows how long, and then start pumping. And then the Soviet Union, which is Team Denmark.
Yes. So that's Cohen at the helm.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's Soviet Union is always a big strong boy.
Mhm.
There's really not much you can do about it. Really, just great industrial might, great research bonuses.
And I put a lot of weight on Team Denmark as well, because they are teamed up with Turkey and India, both of which can really start to field some manpower, especially if you get rid of the debuffs on India. You can really start to field some troops out. So they're going to have a lot
China.
of Brazilian China, yes. So what's happening over here is, I believe, Brazil was given control of some of the Japanese forces to help with the micromanagement and the absolute destruction of China. This war broke out just before we ended the last play session, and also here comes Hitler is moving against Denmark here. But let's hop on over. Let's take a look. So yes, Japan. Some Japanese troops here are being controlled by the Brazilian player to help with the micromanage. I believe there's also Canadian controlled. There's some Canadian controlled Japanese forces, and we joked about this earlier, just before the stream went on break. Can you imagine being a load of divisions from Japan turning up, being ready to invade China, and just your general walks out and he happens to be Canadian? It's just one of the most bizarre scenarios we could ever think of. The divine mandate of Emperor Hirohito has given the command of these brave Japanese soldiers to this random Canadian man.
Well, I'm sure he worked very hard to get that position.
So Denmark has fallen to Poland, Team Poland. They don't get any points for holding Denmark. Only Team Denmark get points for holding Denmark. But this does block Team Denmark from getting the points from Denmark. Did I say Denmark too much? So Robert, do you have any memories of Hoy to share with us? Anything you can remember, either from in-house dev multiplayers or just working on the brand, that you feel would be interesting and fun to discuss?
Oh man, put me on the spot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things. One of my favorite memories, honestly, is playing an internal MP using the Equestria War mod.
Oh yes.
Which I think. Not a brony, but I think it is honestly one of the finest total conversion mods out there. I mean, the amount of effort and the quality, the overall quality of the mod is just honestly insane. And I had a lot of fun destroying friendship and happiness with communism.
I mean, what is closer friendship and happiness, comrade?
Exactly.
Friendship is magic, but so is nuclear armament.
Yes, the enemy might have had magical ponies, but I had millimeters of steel.
Yeah, but I mean, fun. I commentated the clash between the Hearts of Iron 4 unofficial community server and the Equestria War community server at one point, and it was my first time seeing that mod for a long time, and I was like blown away. But
it's really insane.
Yeah, but to the game at hand, though. So you
Yes.
think that Team Poland is running away with this, but there is a slight chance for Team Denmark or USA, depending on how much of their industry they can get around.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
actually check out the American industry, shall we? Let's see how well they've built up for now. So they're up to 211 factories so far in 1937.
so have the, I guess, the Central Powers of Europe, have they did they expend a lot of or did they build a lot of military factories earlier to blob out like this, or did they just use their initial starting military power and build some civs for a while? Because I think that's like gonna be one of the big factors here. So what's Germany on? 83 civs? I mean, that's pretty good by 37.
Yeah. I wonder if partially. So we discussed why they're puppeting these nations. I wonder if I assumed the puppeting of France was for its navy. Turkey going to war with Saudi Arabia, trying to get as much land as they possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, I think since the introduction of the resistance system, I think there's a lot of reasons to puppet instead of directly occupy. It saves you a lot of resources in the long run. You end up getting actually quite a bit out of the territory once you build up compliance, and then you don't have to deal with just the troublesome constant resistance activity.
Yes. So yeah, we were thinking it was mainly that, but also the chance that those nations can go further along in their focus trees and get more factories built that way.
True.
Is another thing. We also discussed that there was the possible idea that the reason that Team Poland have puppeted so many nations, especially all the African ones, is to spam the other players with join war declarations, so they have that delay of clicking away all of the messages, and there's a delay in their micromanagement. I thought it was a 200 IQ idea that they might be pulling there.
That's big brain 40 chess right there. Fortunately, we will finally be addressing that in the future.
Oh yes, that was announced in the last dev diary that that is no longer going to be the case.
Yes.
Rather thankfully on that. So this is another victory state to Team Turkey, bringing their point total to 20.
Yeah, I bet that the UK is going just hard down all the industrial stuff. I mean, one, because world tension is spiked just so insanely early, so why not?
Oh my lord. What have they done?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Brazilian and Canadian.
Oh, man.
China.
Maybe they just want some really good South Chinese food, you know?
Yeah,
so it's good stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, it's the strategic Canadian trading ports.
Yeah, it's good.
To secure Chinese maple syrup imports. That's what it is.
It's very important. But yeah, I have a feeling that the UK wants to get his army out as early as possible and play defensively. I think he was shell shocked after the last Dev Clash.
Why? What happened in the last Dev Clash?
He just, he got smashed like you sometimes do in this game.
I did a multiplayer with some of my community members right after I became community ambassador and got destroyed, and it was very embarrassing. I was playing as the UK on my own versus 3 Axis players, and they all just decided to gang up on me. And my allies in the USA and the USSR just didn't join the war, so I got destroyed. It was very embarrassing.
Yeah, Hoi multiplayer can be really swingy. I've played a bit of competitive MP in my time, and I never ascended to like the Chad tier of playing a major, but I did really enjoy playing minors, and there's so much weird stuff that can happen. I really enjoy playing minors in multiplayer because it allows you to really hyper focus on your role in the game and just try to do a really good job at like one thing. Yeah, and I think that could be really powerful in a big multiplayer game of Hoi.
See, I'm very much like Mordred, the community ambassador for EU4, who is a big player of this game as well. I really like navies, and I really like micromanaging air forces. I love being the air controller, and that's my favorite thing to do in this game, honestly.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, one of my favorite things to do in multiplayer is play Air Canada and just like sit back with a cup of tea and micro my air force around the world. So it's really relaxing.
I just love the stories that also come out of Ace Generation, and when they get shot down or when they shoot down others, I get fascinated by that. I'm like, yes, I have the best fighter aces in the world. No, one of them died. That's what, like I was saying earlier as well. One of my favorite nations to play is weirdly communist USA, but I really love it when I get Amelia Earhart as the free ace.
Oh yes.
Because I had it once that she was like flying fighters all the way up until like 1946 when she finally died after getting like 30 kills against other aces, just like that I'd been tracking manually. It was...
just wrecking.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good old Amelia.
Brazil getting a little bit bogged down here against AI Colombia.
Yeah, I mean, it could honestly, even with the AI, it can be really hard to push your way through Colombia just because it's just nonstop mountain, jungle, rivers, and bad supply. Like it's kind of the worst.
Yeah.
But they are doing the right thing of going around to the soft western side of Colombia, especially before pushing up into the actual mountains, because then it's not actually soft. It's just another defended area.
So just for those who have joined us a bit late, who might be wondering, the victory states in the Americas are Miranda in Venezuela and Cuba. So Cuba is going to be a point of contention, and it's going to obviously require real strong naval control. And this is one of the things about Team Turkey that Team Turkey has to kind of think about and bring into play is they need Japanese troops stationed over here to beat Team Russia. Or they've got to try and go toe-to-toe with the USA navally. They've got to try and go toe-to-toe with Team Russia navally during the conflict. Otherwise, their teammates of Canada and Brazil are going to be stuck the other side of the Pacific Ocean against the US and Mexico, which could turn out really bad for this. So all the gains that Team Turkey are making here with Brazil grabbing that capture point, and if they get Cuba, could be lost if the naval war in the Pacific doesn't go their way. That being said, that also could be why they've been given parts of China, as they've got some land to escape to in case they get invaded. It could be a tactical area for them to keep running a nation from. So
I wonder how much equipment they're having to burn up to take the South American region. It's usually not very equipment friendly, especially on artillery. Yeah, they look pretty healthy.
Brazil's okay right now, and the Canadians are all right, I think. So Sweden has capitulated to the Polish team, gaining themselves yet another victory point.
Look at that big name.
They're up to 90 now, almost into the triple digit. Yeah, as Team Poland. Team Poland is really, from being the smallest geographical team on the map, have gone to being probably one of the largest.
Really surprised it's taking so long to lock up Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I think they've really been having some issues there, but they haven't called in their allies for the most part.
I mean, they'll definitely handle it. It's just they're taking quite a bit of attrition. It's taking a while. Yeah, everything's attritioning.
Fly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow. Was that Turkey in the hole for guns there?
Yeah,
Turkey is 50,000 guns in the hull.
Did they template swap, or are they just attritioning that hard in the desert foolishly? Huh. I mean, they're losing 122 guns a day.
Yeah,
which is not great.
That's manic. Have they just changed production up? And they're also out of manpower right now. With a lot of, I mean, they did just do a land war in Iran as well. So this is.
Yeah. I mean, they're
still on infantry equipment 1. They are just struggling.
I mean, it's not fun territory to take. The infrastructure is bad. It's lots of tiles that are hard to push. Yeah, West Asia is not fun to fight in.
Yeah, at least their team is kind of stable in guns, but Turkey is going to be a big deficit for them, especially if they get first striked by, say, Team Poland and try to cross the Bosphorus. Yunnan has capitulated to, I believe this is, yes, to Team Turkey. It feels weird talking about Turkey, then going on to talk about Team Turkey. Turkey as a nation is in Team Denmark, to just just to clarify that to the audience. Yes, we made this purposely confusing to not only catch ourselves out, but you out as well. I don't know if there's any wars currently in the world. No, there are. The Saudi war. And really costing Turkey to get this equipment. They've actually stopped pushing.
Yeah, it was looking bad, honestly.
Saudi Arabia is actually on a counter-offensive slightly.
I mean, I don't know why they brought so many divisions
hello,
down.
Kurdistan.
Oh boy,
That could be why they've stopped pushing.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Moved in to help here, I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Soviets are definitely going to have to clean this up for Turkey because Turkey is not in a great place right now. I think they've really overextended themselves.
Yeah, I believe it's unhistorical playing as Turkey. Can I see the player? Where can I see the player? There's a player's map mode. Let's have a look. Players, yes, is unhistorical. Is really starting to struggle in Turkey. Are they going to be the Achilles heel for Team Denmark? Who knows? I am interested to see what damage Team Dev can do. I know they're planning on being very defensive when the player wars start breaking out because they are backed into a corner. They didn't have the luxury of being able to take part in the draft, so they were left with whatever was left to try and cobble together a defense. And I still think they've got a good, strong choice of grabbing Britain and Iberia. It just depends on how they're doing in terms of production of, say, aircraft. Britain is building fighters. They're in the hole in artillery and anti-tank. Let's see what Daniel's up to in Carlos, Spain. Got great production. He's only got 14 factories? That seems low for 1938.
I mean, Spain comes out in a pretty rough state out of the Civil War, so I mean, I guess it's understandable. He is building quite a bit of anti-tanks, anti-tank 1, so I wonder if he's just trying to counter that light tank SPG spam.
Yeah. I wonder as well, maybe Daniel isn't focusing on factory production because I've just noticed.
Oh, he's building. Yes, that is a lot of
Pyrenees.
Yes, he is. The Pyrenees will not fall, but that is thing about Spain is there's also a lot of coastline.
Yeah. Well, if the Portuguese though can be focused on defending the ports, where is the Portuguese army?
That is a great question.
Where is the Portuguese army?
Are they on an expedition?
They don't have any troops.
They literally don't have troops?
Portugal
No division,
has
Portugal?
literally no troops. I was like, why have they got so many guns and none in production? They're not building anything.
What are they doing? Are they only building subs? Is that like their whole plan is to just terrorize the world from the high seas? Like, I mean, I guess if that was their plan, they should be building more naval dockyards?
Yeah. Why are they not? They've got nothing under construction. Are they capped on buildable provinces? No. Are they waiting to? Yeah, it's Victor. It's got partial mobilization. I was wondering if they were trying to wait until they've got some construction bonuses, maybe, or something. I'm not sure what Victor's going to be doing.
I mean, Victor is a master of the fine art of the meme, so he could be up to anything.
Is that meme at the detriment of his own team?
I mean, sometimes memes are more valuable than victory.
So, Bratton I was talking to him at the beginning of the stream, and he was like, I'm gonna, whatever I do, I'm not gonna get salty. I'm gonna, I got really agitated when we lost last time. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and defend and enjoy this, and not go out to win. However, Daniel and Victor together, I've seen them be together on a stream in a room, and it's like watching a married couple argue. So if Daniel catches that there's no Portuguese and he's like trying to argue with them, that's entertaining. Japan has declared war on Iceland. Japan has declared war on Iceland. I think are they going to beat the Americans there? Not the Americans, the Polish there, because Team Poland I need to view switch. Team Poland was planning an invasion of Iceland. But I think the Japanese are going to... Oh, sorry, Team Turkey are going to get there first. Mexico declaring war on Costa Rica, trying to get themselves a island port there. Oh, this is going to be an interesting border to keep an eye on. Mexico and Brazil, two green nations bordering each other against each other at one point. Turkey back on the offensive now. I'm surprised that I'm surprised Saudi Arabia is holding on. In fact, it seems Kurdistan has gone before them.
Oh man, you never count the Saudis out, you know.
Are they gonna? Oh no, they are gonna take it. I thought they were gonna puppet Kurdistan in one province. Then I was like, oh, the Saudis are causing Team Denmark a big problem there. That's a beautiful Bulgaria. We haven't said it in a while, but Torior over here in Bulgaria. Look at that pretty land. He's got 86 factories, most of them civilian right now.
The Western Empire reborn.
Yeah, and he's moving towards the Kingdom of Hungary. Poor Otto von Habsburg thought he finally gets his throne back, and suddenly there is a Bulgaria on his border. The Bulgars have returned.
His chin's just not prominent enough to Habsburg. It's real unfortunate.
Team Poland are pinging near Hull. Are they looking to? Or actually near Newcastle? Are they?
Oh, they're scouting with divisions along the coast of the UK.
Because the UK haven't actually border forced any of those northern ports yet. Bratton could be in for a problem. There is only now less than a year before player wars can begin. So the Rumble is going to kick off very soon.
What is the official start date?
1939.
Okay.
So January 1st. Oh, that's a good question in chat. What about US Air? So the US are building planes. They're building a lot of planes. Oh, no, they're not. They're not building many bombers or close air support, but they are building fighters. And they're building heavy tank destroyers. Heavy tank destroyers, a lot of guns. Okay. What about Mexico? What are you building? Guns. Just guns.
Yeah, guns, artillery. It's the classic.
The classic. El Clasico, as they would say in Mexico. Iceland has capitulated. I don't know who this was to, so we will see. Because two parties are in this peace deal. I think maybe it's gone to Bulgaria. Iceland has...
Bulgarian Iceland.
Bulgarian Iceland, everybody. We see it. So that is yet another victory point going to Team Poland, putting them now firmly at 100 points.
The reach of the Bulgars is truly massive.
Mm-hmm. So another thing to note, the more land and the more points that Team Poland is grabbing for themselves now, it does put them firmly in the crosshairs of so many other player nations.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I imagine the other players have to be considering how they're going to smash the Central Powers of Europe. I mean, there's just so many victory points there.
I would not be surprised if we see some of the teams take a short armistice against each other to tear down Team Poland's aggression.
And why can't they just let Bulgarian have the greatest Mediterranean empire ever?
I mean, if only that Turkey wasn't a player and we were seeing a Byzantium reburn.
Oh man,
how is Canada doing with?
Oh, that is I love
scariest data point. I hate it. It's in my nightmares. The Adrian Arcand with his Bulgaria has declared war on Switzerland and Canada has declared war on New Zealand. Now this is an interesting one because that is a victory point.
Oh yes.
North Ireland is a victory point. So
it's also somewhere another place to retreat to. Sorry.
No, continue. Yeah, that's a really, really valid point. And also, it's just grabbing that. It's the thing is, this is at the edge of the map. It's going to be one that players forget about in the heat of combat. So nabbing that one early is a really good place to sort of. once this falls, the only 2 victory points that will not be taken right now will be Cuba and Liberia.
Man.
They have a Japanese invasion plan already on the move against New Zealand, who has no troops. So this will be a breeze. That's a non-factor. New Zealand has nothing. Does that mean Australia still has nothing as well? No, Australia has 3 divisions now. It's because the Dominions were released from Britain in a weird way to get the game going. So they are without that. I'm very intrigued on the devs. I'm surprised Portugal hasn't put troops out. Is it all have they done it so they've got manpower for navy and they're just going to do a submarine spam and raid out that way?
I don't know. I mean, you'd think they'd have more dockyards by now if that's what they're doing. They really don't.
We have Spitfires training over the skies of Britain.
Yeah, Britain's sitting on 0 fuel. That's not a great look.
Hurricanes. Yeah, that's a really rough one.
Yeah.
Has America closed its economy or something? I would be buying from Team America. No, they're still on free trade. I would be Team Russia, sorry, in America.
I would be buying from the Soviet Union, Team Denmark, just because it's the guys on the other side of my most obvious enemy, I think. Give them some boostage, although I guess you don't want them to get out of control.
You also don't want them to go out of fuel, especially if they're going to be facing the German war machine when they already control Romania, the Romanian oil fields. It's going to be the opening stages of this war are going to be both very interesting and very rough for certain teams, I think. It depends how fast a breakthrough the German forces can make in the Soviet Union. If Bo can hold, the longer that Team Denmark can hold, the harder it becomes for Team Poland. Is that 24 divisions on the way to South Africa? Interesting. America.
It looks like they're going to take Africa.
Do they have plans for that?
I mean, they're going to be
battle plan leveled up.
I was just going to say they're going to be at war with Portugal. Or no, the Portugal's Team Dev. Sorry, I was thinking Brazil. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. That's something sneaky's going on.
Japan is taking North and South Island. Surprised that they didn't give that to Canada or some of the like, just to give them that extra industry boost, that manpower boost to try and get a few more troops on the line. But I understand why they've given it to Japan.
I wonder if what America's sending down to South Africa is basically garrison troops, and maybe South Africa's building like something more elite so they can be freed up to help attack somewhere.
Possibly.
South Africa's pretty good at building space marines and the like.
So that actually taking of North Island puts Japan, Team Turkey, up some more points. They're firmly in the second place position now with 30. Team Poland still roaring ahead with 100 points.
How many internationals are there going to be?
Japanese-Bolivian War and the Soviet-Afghan War. Oh no, Soviet
Oh god,
Union.
why? Stop invading the worst territory, Team Denmark.
My
you guys
lord.
are crazy.
Why?
They must just hate having infantry equipment. They just don't
I
like
feel
it.
like this is I feel like that this is a bad time unless they are trying to get them as a puppet or something. Is there any good resources here? Like what?
No, there's like except for establishing borders. Yeah, there's basically no reason to ever take Afghanistan unless you're trying to create a border with Pakistan for some reason. And
I don't know how I feel about this decision.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I guess they're beating them up, but 3 months could be a bit tight for taking Afghanistan once you get into the mountains.
And it's pulling valuable troops away from that front line. We've got to try and hold against Germany and the Bulgarians, who have all gone cavalry.
I mean, honestly, cavalry, when built properly, is a great template, but it looks like he's just pumping them out to maybe either. I wonder why he's doing that. Is it for volunteer spam or is it for a template swap? Or this
I
is
don't
just
know.
to. I guess it could also just be to do
Exploiting
cheeky.
gaps.
Yeah. Cheeky throwaway exploit troops.
Yeah, I don't know. Still no invasion of Cuba. Expecting to see that about now. I wonder as well if they'll give the troops in South Africa to the South African player to control. I'm really worried that Team Dev is just going to get rolled.
I mean, that's a lot of forts on an already hard to take spot. I mean, they probably want to put a couple more guys than 2 on the far eastern border. And the German tanks are there.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Oh, let's not look at French templates. We'll get out of the air mode.
Man,
I
and
know how to control this game.
One of the really great things about just building a ton of light SPGs early is that when you eventually switch away from it to like medium tanks or something else, they're still just really great to have as your punching, the punching power of your division, like they have here, where they're switching to medium tanks, but they're holding on to those light SPGs to fill out the new medium tank divisions.
I like that it's called 20 light, but it's actually a 40 watt division. Top tier illusory we got there. It's got medium AA, special anti-air. There's a heavy. Oh, there's a medium tank destroyer. I thought there was a heavy tank there for a moment. Also, I just noticed that Turkey declared war on Mongolia, so the Soviets can.
I mean, I guess they're going after VPs, right? But it's just like these are just
there
such
aren't
rough
VPs up here. That's the thing.
I mean,
There's
they're,
no
they're capitals though, right? Like
no, it's
Afghanistan?
It's only player capitals.
Oh. Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah, there's literal no point other than nice borders.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe...
aesthetics above all.
Oh, so India has moved troops to defend in Finland.
Okay.
Interesting. So that's the India player is going to be microing the defense of Finland. The Russian player going to be microing the defense of Russia, which is going to be probably against 2 players.
Yeah.
And then the Turkish player has got to try and hold against the 2-width Cavs wall.
And I'm just imagining a bunch of poor guys from India like being deployed to northern Finland, just like, why have you done this to us?
I mean, if they're from like the Kashmir region or some of the colder mountainous regions of India, they could be well suited. It could be probably some of the better fighters for that area.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that's good. Out of all the fronts you could be deployed on, the Finnish front is not the one I would want to be put into.
Yeah, please no.
Oh, Canada has suddenly got 48 divisions.
Ooh, and here comes the Japanese army.
Yeah, of Japanese forces been directly controlled by the Canadian player. So, like, again, Emperor Hirohito, in his infinite wisdom, has seen that these random Canadian men shall be in charge of the Emperor's finest. Look at all these troops.
I mean, it's probably their best play. I mean, I guess we're going to see a great struggle for the Pacific right when the player wars begin.
Yeah, the Pan-Pacific conflict is going to be hot to watch.
Yeah.
So it seems like the teams, any internal discussions really haven't happened, and in fact, we're going to see a European conflict and a Pacific conflict, at least in the early parts of our player war. What will happen to Team Dev will be a big question, and what will happen over here? I worry that Team Poland is going to run away with this game. They've got paratrooper light, the Fallschirmjägers landing lines on Madrid.
Oh God.
Daniel has got a few troops there, but he should be expecting this, surely.
Yeah, I mean, he's covering all of his VPs. I'm sure he'll be able to respond. Well, I hope he'll be able to respond. I mean, maybe that's what the Polish or the Portuguese tiny divisions are all about. Just countering invasion by air.
Yeah.
Just surround the airborne cheaply and starve them out.
How big are these paratrooper divisions? They're only 8 width. They're only 8 widths, so they can be countered pretty easily. Can you imagine just like 40 width paratroopers landing on you, just like, and you're a little 2 width cavalry division or whatever it is Portugal's putting out, just like, oh no, there's too many Fallschirmjägers.
They got with the MG34s.
Please say that they've put Rommel in Africa over here. I need to check. Is this Irvin Rommel? No, it's Hans.
No, there's no way it's going to be Mancine or Kadarian. They're power gaming too hard for that. For Rommel.
They might be pandering to their audience, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's December. We are less than a month away from the ability to have player conflict.
Oh, I just noticed Barbary Tunis. That's wonderful.
Barbary Tunis. Yeah. We've got the Algerian Caliphate, the Maghreb Empire. There's so many nations over here that I've never seen before. Japan is struggling to land in Liberia. They're trying to land artillery units.
Oh no.
The great Liberian defense. They will remain independent.
Hold, Liberia, hold.